We bought this F-body Firebird roller for $1,000, and since then, it's been our project drag car. Now, we ain't made of money around here, so we do everything ourselves. That way we can spend the cash on the parts that matter. I'm Josh, and I like whiskey, and I like going fast. And you're watching High Noon Racing on YouTube. Welcome back to the garage, guys. On today's episode, we plan to install our turbo feed and drain lines and extend our exhaust on the turbo downpipe so that way it can come through the bumper. Now, I'm not sure this oil feed line is actually going to reach the turbo, but we're going to give it a shot anyways. And I'm also going to show you some budget alternatives on where to run your oil drain feed back to the oil pan if you don't have any other options. Oh, and guys, if I don't answer a question that you came to this video to figure out, just comment your question below. Even if it's not related to this video, I'm a chill dude. I'll help you out. Grab your whiskey. Let's get into it. Alright, so we got it started, hand threaded in there. Vice comes in handy because, you know, got lack of hands. Let's see. Alright, I'd say she's tight. Now what we gotta do, after checking for burrs, which I don't see any burrs, and take our O-ring that came with this, get some oil on it, and pop it in that bad boy, right in there. And we'll go up under the car and install it. So here's what typically comes standard on an LS oil pan. It won't have this screw up here. Normally you'll drill this out and then tap it. That's one way to do it. Or you can spend $13, go on Amazon and get one of these and thread your 1/8 inch NPT feed line right into it. But don't worry, we'll throw some oil on it when we go to install it. Now when we go to remove this thing, you're gonna wanna put an oil pan under it because it's gonna get messy. So up on the driver's side of the block, you're gonna see your oil filter and that bracket right above it. That's the one we're gonna remove. We're gonna stick a bucket down here to catch the oil, and we're also gonna hope that it's 10 millimeters so I don't gotta get back up. Well, lucky us, it's a 10 mil. Yep, you'll be seeing that oil coming out. Oh yeah. We can let that drain off a little bit, it's not gonna hurt nothing. And then we'll go ahead and stick the other one on. Let's see how short this hose is gonna be. Oh, we might be able to actually make it. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. I don't know who said I needed a haircut and a beard trim, but look, I done cleaned it up. Don't worry, it wasn't for you. I don't succumb to peer pressure. Got a wedding I gotta go to. I succumb to wife pressure. All right, let's check it out. So we got it going to here. Give it a little tug. Oh, this is looking mighty sketch. We'll see if we can get it up and around this bracketry here. Try to run it. Oh, it's so close. So close. So close. I wonder if I give it. All right, let's get it under here. Oh, she gonna be tight. I'm gonna make that work. I'm gonna order a longer one and put it on. All right. Now, we're gonna do the drain first, which is gonna actually require us to disassemble the turbo, but it'll be much better because it's gonna be hard to access underneath and through all that crap. So we'll take the V-band off this side, take the housing off, and we should be able to access it fairly well. We'll take the boot off too. So we got this old fitting here that we're gonna recycle. And it appears I'm gonna put this thing on here, huh? There you go. Well, she could use a little cleaning. Nothing like a little garden hose job. Alright, now I need to find a gasket for this unit, which I'll probably have somewhere. Probably got like 10 of them. Let's check back here. Damn. I think this is the gasket that came with this thing. I guess I never used it. Alright, a little tear in it. Ain't scared. Alright, so now that we got our gasket and bolts for this thing, what we're going to do before we stick it on there is grab our clean, fresh hose and attach a 45-degree fitting on it. 45-degree angle fitting, so that way it can bend out and away. Tighten it on there, and then we'll install it. Alright, so she is tightened down all the way, no gap there. Now we got our 45 on the AN line. Is install the line to our fitting and then install the fitting to the turbo. Well, this 5-minute job for me just turned into a 10-12 hour job. Yeah, I tightened the fitting down on the drain side on the timing cover. Snapped it right off. But in all reality, you can't get mad at these things because you got to look at it like this. What if that fitting broke off while going down the track, or worse, the street, and that drain feed just spilling oil under your back tires? Now you're in the wall, or worse, into somebody else. So kind of got to look at these things like a blessing. You know, it happened for a reason. Now we're going to put it on there solid and ain't never coming off. And yeah, I've said it in other past videos. When this kind of stuff happens to you, don't get discouraged. You just got to attack it and attack it and attack it until it's done. And then it's done. The only thing holding you from it getting done is you doing it. So let's do it. Alright, well, got a few shocks there. Not too happy about that. Normally how you stop the shocking is you ground straight to the part. But, yeah, so I'm stepping back. I gotta step away from it before I set it on fire. this mullet. Alright, here we go, fellas. We've been putting dents in the whiskeys and holes in the cars. Check out what we got. We got the exhaust popping out the fender, a little bit of a gap around it, not bad. There's going to be a plate that goes over this so you won't see that gap. It'll get riveted into the fender and it'll look nice and clean, but the exhaust is, the exhaust is now ran out. Oh yeah, we making, ain't scared. This gap closes up with that screw. I know y'all seen it. What the hell are you doing with that bag? Oh, god damn. Now that this exhaust has actually ran out a little bit more, it'll probably give it a little bit deeper of a tone, so that'll be nice too. Yeah, growl. Like, ain't no big LS, so it ain't gonna be no deep tone, but it'll definitely have a better tone. Rise and shine, guys. It's a new day. I got a little crazy out here last night. You know, I had to bust out the TIG welder and bring it out here. Whole bottle of argon. Started welding on that fitting. It was down in there. And yeah, so the breeze was kind of kicking our butt. Then I was running out of argon. It's like not even reading on the gauge, which means it's almost out. And then I ran out of tungsten. So I was like, man, this ain't gonna happen. This just ain't happening. And then if you know anything about oil-soaked cast aluminum, it does not like to weld. There's a lot of porosity, so it cracks. It's just a horrible metal to work with, TIG welding. So I thought to myself, all right, the only thing holding me back from pulling this cover off is the balancer. Now the balancer is it's a what's ATI super damper, and it's not a problem to pull it off, but it is a problem getting it on. It was a nightmare getting it on, and I do have an installer and a remover, and it was still a nightmare getting it on. So I didn't really want to have to pull it off. I don't care, I will pull this whole engine out of here if I have to, but I didn't want to pull it off. So did everything in my power to just fix it where it's at. The JB welded it, and I don't recommend that for anybody to do, but the only reason why I'm doing it is because I want to complete things, keep things moving, and then I can fix that later. So I don't plan to make any hits with it whatsoever in that current state. But right now, to keep moving forward on the build and to be able to actually drive this thing onto a trailer under its own power where I can go work on a lift instead of, you know, in my favorite dirt, that's what we did. All right, guys, let's finish up this this drain side from the turbo. So a couple things you're gonna need: an angle grinder, safety squints, marker, like a Sharpie. I think I got one somewhere. Yeah, and some tape. Now you can use any kind of tape, but I'm gonna use masking tape because it'll be easier to see our mark. I'll show you why you're gonna need tape. Let's see how that JB job turned out. All right, fellas. Oh yeah, she ain't going nowhere. I already tightened my fitting on here. She is solid, rock solid. Turbo oil drain is pretty much gravity fed, so it all has to be going downhill. Otherwise, what happen is that oil won't drain out efficiently enough, and your turbo will actually start burning because that oil gets so hot it loses its lubricating properties because it's not draining fast enough. And sometimes you can tell because the turbo will smoke out the exhaust after a pull. That could be other things too. That can happen from, oh god dang, that can happen from your valve seals. If they leak, you can get it from that as well. And there's other things that cause it too, you know, like blow by. But that's just another way to tell. Yeah, so I'm gonna show y'all how I do this. And what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna take this and move it up to, you know, get it aligned how I want it, and move it to where I'm gonna be putting this side of the fitting. So this side unscrews. Now this isn't a PTFE lined hose, and that's because you don't need a PTFE lined hose for oil. You know, you do for ethanol. But so basically the hose shoves up in here and bottoms out. There's like a step in there and it bottoms out on it. So it can't go no further. So that's where our measurement needs to go to, where we make the cut. So I'm gonna want to angle my hose the way I want it angled. I'm gonna move my hose into place, and I'll throw a piece of tape on it, make a mark, and then cut it. All right, so I'm gonna set y'all down and do that. And the reason why you tape it is because this stuff has braid in it, and that tape keeps it from unraveling. Just keeps it nice and clean while you're making a cut. So now that our masking tape is on there nicely, We're gonna move this to where it'll be about situated, and then with a Sharpie, we're gonna take and mark like a guesstimated spot where it needs to slide in all the way, which is just a little bit back from the edge, but we can always give it a little more. It's not gonna hurt. So I'm gonna move it up, draw my line, and then we'll make our cut. And that tape will hold the braid and everything for us when we're cutting it. Keep it nice. Nice, clean, straight cut. Tape did its job like we wanted. Now we'll pop tape off, unscrew this fitting, get it over it, and we'll take this fitting off of here, use 2 wrenches and crank it down. Alright guys, this is incredibly important right here. These Chinese feed plates for the feed line, most of them come with a restrictor. My turbo, it would be fried in 3 poles if I left this restrictor on here. So you have to drill this out. And what I do basically is I just drill it either a little bit bigger than the main hole or find a drill bit that fits in there, but you have to drill this out. Otherwise you're going to smoke your turbo. Alright guys, save you some of the bull mess and got it all back together. And you know, I think I'm not gonna cut it. It kind of looks mean, you know. I like that. Definitely gonna have to get the laptop. Gonna be rowdy, son. I can't wait. Good oil pressure. Got a little bit of tuning to do, but coming along, fellas. She's coming along. Next weekend, probably gonna be doing brakes because Motion Race Works didn't ship my manual brake master cylinder. So I know it wasn't a lot of progress, but it was probably cool to see at least. All right, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.